What's good, everybody? How you doing? What's good? What's good? Welcome, everybody. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a hot day in this room, at least. But man, some crazy things been happening in the news again. Some crazy things have been happening. Okay, so let's get down to it. First, let's do a little house cleaning. Please like and subscribe to this channel. So if you see the like button, please tap on that. If you see the little bell button, tap on that so that you can get information on any video. Whenever I make new videos, you'll know that I'm doing it. So tap on those buttons. Also, check out the description. And if you're into crypto, if you want to learn about crypto or you want to get into it, uh look in the description. I got some links. If you're into the metaverse or you want to get into the metaverse or learn about it, uh, I got links below. So check that out. All right, let's get into the topic of the day. Hood funerals. Funerals is one of my words that I have trouble saying. So if I say it wrong during this, hey, that's just one of my words. Okay, so hood funerals. Um, man, I'm gonna be honest. I hate going to hood funerals. I just don't. I never really like going to them. I've been to many of them from a small child up to now. I don't really go if I know somebody. If I know it's going to be a real ratchet type of vibe, I'm probably not going to go for the most part. Um, in the news today, I mean not today, but yesterday, um, I saw that there was a young man who was a rapper in the DMV area in the DC, Maryland. I think he's from Maryland, but he obviously had his funeral at Club Bliss. He was killed. Another senseless murder. Um, and it's one of those things where I'm tired of hearing about. I'm tired of hearing about another rapper getting killed. I'm tired of hearing about another young man getting killed on the streets or whatever like that. So that's nothing that I enjoy hearing. Um, but the reason why I'm doing this actual conversation is because um I think it's something that we need to really address. Um, man, it's just crazy, man. I don't know what makes people do the things that they do, or what makes people think the way they think. I know maybe his family and friends were trying to celebrate this guy, and they actually had him they had his body propped up. There's a video going around. Maybe I'll share it in the comments. Uh, there's a video going around where they had a concert for this young guy, is Goonew. I never heard of him. I had never really kept up with a lot of DC rappers like that. I'm from DC. I live uptown. Um, I never heard of this guy, but then again, I'm not in the loop of what's happening, I guess, in that world. You know what I'm saying? As far as that's concerned, I'm not really in the loop as concerned to who's the little popping rapper or whatever in the local scene or whatever. I'm not really, hip to that like that. But yeah, they had this man propped up, his body propped up at a club in DC, Bliss, at Club Bliss. That's in Northeast, over in Northeast, where all the little clubs at. There's a whole bunch of clubs in that little area. At Club Bliss, and it was packed out. I thought it was a go-go. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was a go-go. And then when I seen the body, it just kind of like at first I was like, okay, yo, that looks kind of weird. And then I that's before I realized that it was a dead body. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize it was a dead body until I kept watching it, and I was like, yo, this is a funeral. At first well, I don't know what I was thinking at first, but you know, man, we be doing some weird stuff, man. I'm not even gonna say we, cause I don't be doing that weird stuff. I would never. I just think, yo, man. I tell my family all the time, if something happens to me and I pass away, a untimely death or anything, even if it's a timely death, just cremate me. Just cremate me and keep my remains in a urn, and maybe keep it in a room, a special room or something like that or whatever. But I don't really want my body on display like that. For many reasons. I've always I just don't like the thought of people viewing my body. I think it does something psychologically to people, you know what I'm saying? Time you see somebody is in the casket, I think psychologically it kind of it kind of does something to people. So I don't want people to remember me like that, you know. Um, yeah, I kind of want, for me, for myself, I rather would wouldn't would I would rather want people to remember me alive. You know what I mean? This whole thing where you got to be there's even funeral homes that do this. They got you. They'll have you propped up, or if you like motorbikes, they'll have you on a bus on a motorbike, or they'll have you sitting in a chair, or all kinds of weird stuff. People ask for these things, and you know what? To each their own. Everybody has their thing, but I'm gonna be honest, it's weird. It is. It's some weirdo stuff, man. It's just weird, and it and on the cost, I think it's just ridiculous because funerals are already expensive. You know, they're already expensive. Why do all of that? I know we love people and everything, but when they're gone. And you know, uh I really I really think that's not something that we should be paying so much, because people go into debt for these things. And that's another thing. Um, you know, I'm tired of seeing, the GoFundMe's for, oh, little Pookie died, or little Pookie was killed, or whatever. We need to raise money for his funeral. Yo, that's what life insurance for. So everybody, look, if you don't have, look, get life insurance. Everybody, do it. It shouldn't be, the younger you are, the cheaper it should be. If you got kids that are running around in the street, I mean, look, if you can't handle them, and you can't get them off the street, and you can't get them in line and in check, and they out here doing some crazy stuff, get some life insurance on them. Get some life insurance on them, so you won't be stuck with the cost, because it ain't gonna be if they living that life, you know, chances are they could be next. Hopefully not. I hope nothing happens to any of your loved ones. But if you got people running around in the street, look, those are the chances that they're gonna face. And the reality is, you need to make sure that you're protected when something happens to them, so that you're not stuck with the bill, you know. So I would really encourage you to get life insurance. So yeah, so this guy Goonew, they had his body propped up, they had a full concert, and I looked at some of the faces of the people in the concert. You could tell there were people that were there that I saw some of the looks on their face. There were people there, enjoying the concert and enjoying the party, and having fun, and trying to, celebrate this man's life. Um, and then I saw some faces where it was just weird, you know. Yeah, you could see it on their face that, yo, this is weird. And then again, maybe it was their face because it's a funeral and they're still sad and mourning their loved one, but You know, that's the that's a weird way to really to mourn, or want to celebrate somebody, but to each their own. And going back to this whole hood funeral thing, um I think I've had some of my worst, you know, I'm a musician. That's what I do. That's my livelihood for the most part, a musician, producer. So I'm into music really heavily. But I remember there was one point in my life right after college, and when I came back to DC, I moved from Boston to DC, and one of the jobs that I had when I came back, I had a job where I was playing for funerals for a church. So every time they had a funeral, I would be there. I would play for us, and that was like almost every week because it was in the hood. It was like in the middle of the hood in Southeast. It was like really in the hood, and so like they had funerals almost every week, and I had to play for these funerals, and it was horrible, man. Like I've been to funerals my entire life. I mean, growing up in church, you go to everybody's funeral. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in church, you go to their funeral. And usually it's a it's sad but heartwarming at the same time. You know what I mean? Especially when it's church people. But when you go to these hood funerals and when somebody, it's somebody that got shot or somebody that died on drugs or something crazy like that, those are the worst funerals to go to, man. Cause you see people in agony and crying, and it's just the worst. It's the worst of the worst feeling. You know what I'm saying? And those are the funerals where you see people jumping in the caskets and trying to tell the person to wake up or all kind. You see the worst of people during those funerals. Those kind of funerals, the worst of people comes out. You don't see people at their best. I mean, at all funerals, you always going to see sadness, but yeah, at the hood funerals, those take the cake right there. Um, yeah, and I just at one point I got to a point where I actually stopped. I just couldn't do it no more. I was just like, man, I can't do these funerals no more. And I still play for funerals, but I don't I kind of decline when if it's certain type of funerals or a certain if it's a certain if I know that it's going to be kind of ratchet, I I try not to get involved into those funerals. But yeah, man. But yeah, this guy Goonew, man, he he definitely they definitely sent him home. I don't know exactly why he was killed. I don't know why he was killed. Um Most of the time, I'm just gonna insert this. Most of the time when people get killed on the street, it's usually of two things. It's usually either jealousy or it's it's a lack of respect or somebody felt disrespected. It's usually those two things. It's rarely about drugs and all that kind of stuff. It's usually about jealousy and disrespect. And from growing up, actually grew up in Southeast, um, from a little kid all the way up to I moved uptown when I was like around 13 or 14, about 13. That's when I moved uptown. But I grew up prior to that, I grew up in Southeast, Southeast part of DC. Um, yeah, so I understand that mentality. I understand what that looks like up front, you know, um, as far as the violence that goes on in neighborhoods and the killings that go on in neighborhoods. I understand what that looks like up front. Um, and what it looks like being around that mentality. Uh, and it's really a sad thing. It's really a sad thing. And you almost get when you're raised around that, you almost get desensitized to it because it happens so much. It's almost like it's almost like it's not like it's you don't want to say that you don't care anymore, but in a sense you really you it happens so much that you don't really care anymore, and it's hard to care, So that's one reason why, I hate hearing about these senseless murders, because at a certain point you want to care, but it happens so much that you can't always, you know what I'm saying? That it's really hard to care. It's really hard to have empathy, especially because you know the you know how these things go down most of the time. Somebody says something out of pocket, somebody gets out of pocket, and then somebody gets mad and takes it to a whole nother level. And now you got a person that's gone forever. Now, I'm not saying this happened to Gunu. I don't know his life. I don't know his story. I don't know if he got out of pocket with somebody and said some stuff that and somebody else took it and was like, you know what? I'ma just, put you to sleep, And a lot of times that's what happens. I'm not sure that's if that happened to him, but that's what happens a lot of times in in these things. Or maybe they were just jealous of him. Maybe it's jealousy. People in the hood a lot of times get jealous. And there's almost nothing you can do about that. When somebody is just jealous of you, they just they'll do the worst things, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you really do like when you're coming up and you're trying to be successful, you have to leave. You can't stay around those neighborhoods. You can't even like come around just to hang around and be around your friends, cuz those your friends are the ones a lot of times that do that stuff, you know what I'm saying? It be the ones that were closest to you that will be the most jealous of you, you know? A lot of times they're the ones that are gonna be the ones to pull the trigger. Um, so when you're if you're out there and you live in the hood and you know you're trying to come up and do something with your life, I'm trying to tell you, leave. Leave. If you find a way to leave, find a way to leave that neighborhood and kind of do you have to do your own thing. At a certain point you have to be able to do your own thing, and it's not that you don't love the people that you love, or not that you have anything against them or anything like that. It's just, as you come up, people gonna feel some kind of way. Either they're gonna feel like you owe them something, or they're gonna feel like, oh, you came up and I didn't come up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so in their mind, they're looking at you, and it's like, oh, he or she thinks she's better than me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that stuff plays in their mind over and over, and they'll do some crazy stuff to you. So like if you're out there and you're in the hood and you trying to come up and you trying to do your best and make something of yourself, you gotta lead the people around. You gotta lead those people around you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much love they showing you right now, but as you get more successful, as you do better and climb the ladder, there's gonna be people that's jealous of you, and most of the time it's gonna be the ones closest to you. So I would say get out, you know what I'm saying? Get out early, you know what I'm saying? Leave that mindset alone. Don't, don't even come around, you know what I'm saying? Just don't come around. That's that's the best thing I could tell you. I know you got love for your hood and got love for the people that you've been raised around. But at a certain point, if you want to be successful, they can't help you. You know what I'm saying? They'll only be pulling you down. And sometimes even if they're not jealous, they're not trying to pull you down. But like sometimes they can only do what they know, you know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like if you're up here and somebody down here, they're only gonna give you the love that they know how to give. You know what I'm saying? They're only gonna be able to do but so much for you at a certain point, and as you climb up, you know what I mean. So it's best, you keep it cordial and show them love when you can, but like stay away, get out the way, stay away. You know, and that's basically all I had today. All I had to talk about today. I didn't really have a whole lot. I just wanted to kind of go over that, and even going back to Gunu. I pray for his family. I hope that his family, his friends, all his loved ones. I hope that they're consult. I hope that I just give my condolences. I just give my condolences, and I hope that they are able to move on, and press on through this tragedy. Okay. And that's all I got for today. Again, please like and subscribe. Check out the description below. And I hope you have a good day and enjoy.